Welcome to Man United 24 Hours React. This is your place to stay up to date with everything about Manchester United, with quick, clear information and no fuss. Take advantage and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave a like so you don't miss any news about the Red Devils.
Ramesh, there you are. Let's talk Bruno Fernandes. Is he going to be a Man United player come the start of next season?
I think the next few days are really, really crucial because we know that Al Hilal are prepared to pay around £100 million to sign Bruno Fernandes. They're prepared to pay him around £700,000 a week to make him one of the most highest paid players in world football. It's our understanding that Bruno Fernandes still hasn't made a decision about whether he wants a new challenge and to leave Manchester United for Saudi Arabia. We understand that he's speaking with his family because not only is it going to be a big move for him, it's clearly going to be a huge move for his family as well. So I think these are really, really crucial days, Mike, with regard to the future of Bruno Fernandes. As far as Manchester United are concerned, they do not want to sell Bruno Fernandes. They haven't received a formal offer as yet. And I'm told that they will only consider any kind of offer for Bruno Fernandes if, of course, an offer comes in, but if Bruno Fernandes makes it clear to them and communicates to them that he does indeed want to seek a new challenge. So that is a situation that Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United find themselves in at the moment. You could argue, look, on the pitch, they can barely afford to do without him because of how he performed last season. Where would they have been had Bruno Fernandes not performed like he did? But then off the pitch, you kind of have to ask yourself the question, can they afford not to accept a bid that is worth around £100 million for someone who's going to be 31 in September? He's got 2 years left on his contract at Manchester United. He signed it quite recently. It runs until 2027. United clearly don't want to sell, but if Bruno Fernandes makes noises, I want to see what they've got to say, see what they offer, then Manchester United will then weigh it up.
It's a really interesting one. As is Antony's situation. Is he coming back to United?
Well, by the terms of his contract, at the moment, he is. He had a really good spell at Real Betis, scored 9 goals in 24 starts for them at the back end of last season. It was a straight loan move from Manchester United to Real Betis. I'm told that lines of communication between Manchester United and Betis remain open over a potential deal. However, Manchester United would want to do a permanent deal for Antony if they are to let him go, over doing another loan move for Antony. And a permanent move, it's going to be really, really difficult for Real Betis to be able to afford the kind of asking price Manchester United would want. If you go back to January and Manchester United tried to do a permanent deal for Antony, I'm not sure how much money they could actually ask another club. And so they kind of took a calculated risk. They thought, right, if we can send him to La Liga, maybe that pace of football would suit Antony, and it did. It might raise his value. So now he's come back to Manchester United with probably a higher value than he did back in January. Now, the other alternative, I'm sure there'll be other suitors for Antony. There'll be other clubs who will come in for him simply because of how he performed for Betis, is an unlikely scenario, but still a possible one, because he's still a Manchester United player. So could he yet be reintegrated into the Manchester United squad under Ruben Amorim?
Why would it be any different?
Sounds outlandish at the moment.
It does.
But if I was to compare the two situations that they had earlier on last season, Marcus Rashford and Antony, they both went on loan. Marcus Rashford to Aston Villa, Antony to Real Betis. In the lead up to Marcus Rashford going on loan to Aston Villa, he was completely admonished from the Manchester United first team squad. He wasn't involved at all. If you look at Antony's situation, since Ruben Amorim took over, and from the first game that he took over at Portman Road against Ipswich back in November, up until the point that Antony left on loan for Real Betis, Antony was involved in every single one of Ruben Amorim's squads, bar one. So you can see that Ruben Amorim might have seen something.
Didn't play much though, did he,
Darmesh? He didn't. But the fact of the matter is he was still being involved in the squad, and he was still coming off the bench in some of these matches as well. Didn't get the amount of game time that Ruben Amorim would have wanted to give him, or Antony himself would have wanted. Hence, he's gone out on loan, performed as well as he has, and maybe could he come back and pre-season training, Ruben Amorim take another look at him and say, yes, maybe I'm going to give you another chance, see what you can do, or with a higher value, Manchester United can get a bit more money for him if they were to sell him.
Yeah, interesting times. All right, we're going to take Alejandro Garnacho amongst their ranks.
I'm not sure if they're going to make another move for him at the moment. We know there's a strong possibility that he could leave Manchester United this summer. We also know for a fact that Chelsea were very interested in signing him last January. So I think it's a possibility. And obviously there's lines of communications open between the two clubs. The two clubs have very good relations at senior levels. They need to sort out the future of Jadon Sancho as well. So he is a player who has been a Chelsea target. I'm not sure, I don't have any information at the moment that they've made a move for him before the Club World Cup starts.
Okay, so United seemingly have a decision to make on Garnacho, along with a host of other players. Now, the winger has cut a pretty unhappy figure in recent weeks, especially when he discovered he wasn't starting in the Europa League final in Bilbao. His overall season saw him play the same number of games as the season before, but score a goal fewer and record 2 fewer assists. And we know he ended the campaign out of the team and none too happy about it. Right.
The summer transfer window is officially open, at least for now. It will temporarily close on June 10th ahead of the FIFA Club World Cup, before reopening on June 16th. United are aiming to complete their transfer business early, having already reached an agreement with Wolves for Matheus Cunha. Meanwhile, Ruben Amorim's side continue to be linked with additional attacking options to strengthen their current squad. Their hunt for a new striker has taken a setback, with Liam Delap set to join Chelsea for £30 million. The likes of Victor Gyökeres and Napoli's Victor Osimhen are 2 prime targets after scoring a combined 91 goals between them this season. There have even been reports that recruitment director Matt Hargreaves is in Naples attempting to negotiate a deal. Osimhen is expected to push for a swift resolution, especially after his high-profile move collapsed on deadline day last summer. Sporting's Victor Gyökeres has also been linked with United, largely due to his strong relationship with manager Ruben Amorim. However, the Reds appear to face stiff competition, with a growing queue of suitors that now reportedly includes Liverpool.
Se você não pular esse vídeo, eu vou mandar esse valor agora na sua conta, eu vou depositar na sua conta. Eu tô falando sério, eu não tô brincando, tá? Olha só, gente, você sabia que a Netflix...
However, further signings beyond a striker are unlikely to be pursued until funds are generated through player sales. Unfortunately, that could see Bruno Fernandes depart the club, amid continued links to a lucrative move to the Saudi Pro League. Sporting's Pedro Goncalves has been earmarked as a potential replacement for the Portuguese captain. Victor Osimhen and Victor Gyökeres are 2 of Europe's most in-demand strikers right now, and Manchester United continue to be linked with both. United are in desperate need of a reliable goal scorer this summer, having not had one since Marcus Rashford netted 30 goals in 2022-2023 under Erik ten Hag. Cristiano Ronaldo was United's last great striker in that regard, with 24 goals in 2021-2022. Rasmus Højlund has regularly seemed out of his depth since arriving at Old Trafford from Atalanta in 2023, leading to successive managers using Bruno Fernandes as a false 9 in some matches. It's no coincidence that United have suffered their lowest ever Premier League finish in successive seasons, when the goals began to dry up for their strikers. It's why Osimhen and Gyökeres are so appealing. There's a sense that signing either player would fix a huge number of problems at M16, and perhaps the biggest one of them all. Gyökeres has the more impressive stats, with 54 goals across all competitions in 2024-2025, compared to 37 from Osimhen. There is also a sense that the Swedes' familiarity of working with United head coach Ruben Amorim from their time at Sporting CP together will work in United's favour. But there is another factor that few, if anyone, has been discussing. Osimhen first made his name at Napoli and has continued to impress on loan at Galatasaray this season, playing his final match for the Turkish club on Friday night.
And we'll leave you here with the latest from Manchester United. If you liked it, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any news about the Red Devils. Thanks for your audience, and see you next edition of Man United 24 Hours React. Here, the passion for United is news every day. Thanks, and glory, glory Man United.